So here we are, Christian men. We're very concerned with what it is like to be a Christian in public.
Right. Man, look, it's one of those things where your faith is a balance to which you operate and function throughout everyday life. So from the way you do your job, to the way you raise your family, to the way you serve in your local body, it's going to be that thing, the core thing that you're operating from as you move through life.
Wasn't there St. Francis, it's often attributed to him, but he never actually said it, something like, preach the gospel at all times, and when necessary, use words.
Yeah.
It's not the best epigram, right? I mean, the gospel requires words, but there's an intuition there that's all right. Isn't there something all right about wanting your manner of life to speak something special about you?
Sure, I think there's something good, there's something like texture there that you want to always be the good person. But again, does that help us in delivering the message of the gospel? If we're just the good person, if we're always nice, does that help us in everyday life as we go through it? Because if you're if something unfortunate to you happens, are you just gonna smile? Do we really want to be the Ned Flanders of our like our little circle?
I'm the old hero guy who comes a Christian, right? Well, in fact, though, aren't some of the nicest people we know pagans?
Yeah. There's this working for some sort of approval that happens in like those that don't operate within the Christian faith. Right? There's this, I give to the poor, I'm nice to everyone I meet, I love everyone. It's like, yeah, that's cool. But what does that matter at the end of life?
Right. So the gospel and the law are the two charges that we have. The gospel as a charge depends on a certain sort of training in law, in a sense. How can you give the gospel to someone who maybe is addicted to pornography?
Sure.
When they don't actually think that it's wrong. They don't actually see that pornography is destructive of the human person.
Yeah, I think they're like, we have to work backwards in some sense, right? Like helping them see like the imago Dei, that everyone in their person is human, like fully human. And then you work forward then to, once they know that it's fully human, like how does this thing distort or dehumanize people, like actual people? These are not objects on the screen, but actual people engaged in acts. Then you move forward from there to see that, okay, how has God Himself commanded us to act in this way? What are the necessary boundaries that the God of the universe has set for us in this particular action?
Because it's not just do this, don't do that.
Right.
It's not just don't do this because it's, because I want to have moral control over your life.
Right.
But there's a deep concern that we have for restoring a view of the human person that makes them ends in themselves and not a means to an end. That no other person should ever be my means to whatever satisfactions I want in the world.
Right.
Instead, I should be pouring out my life for them and for their good in a sacrificial way. And that leads to a very different kind of action and being in public.
Yeah. So if I'm to live out my life in this way that allows me to, first of all, see people as fully human and then pour out my life for them as fully human, or at least propagate their success at the very least, then I'm becoming more conscious of how I act in public, how I speak to people, how I work, how I set an example for my family, how I raise my children. So all of those things matter when it comes to other people, because like I forget who said it, but I remember, in my younger days growing up in church, there was a minister. They would say some people are, the only Bible they'll read is you, right? And so if that's true, which that's debatable at this point in time, but some people will never ever actually pick up the Bible. Some people, from my particular context, can't even read, and let alone, the scriptures, even though they've been translated, right? And so, how is it that we proclamate a gospel to people using our words first and like our actions second?
Yeah, I was just watching a show, and it was based on a comic book, and it's like this new show on one of the free streaming services. And there was an episode that really had a terrible caricature of what the public Christian life was like. And basically we're a bunch of charlatans, and we pretty much want to just tell you, do this and don't do that, and none of us have a very good sense of humor. And there is no real good news. There's kind of a fakey good news that we've drummed up as a means of control.
And that's an idea that pervades the world, right? That they diminish or disregard the divinity of Christ. They pollute his humanity, right? He was just gay, or he was this, he was that, it's whatever. But the real good news is that, like, aside from this perceived morality that exists in the culture where I can do good things and that's good enough, there is a belief that you are, in fact, yes, fully human, but also very, very sinful from the root of Adam, right? And as sinful people, you stand in need of justification, and that justification was brought through Christ and his death on that cross.